Yeah.
Do you guys actually believe that? Do you guys actually believe a ticket with two black women is going to be a white supremacist system that's been set up that they could be in control? Michelle Obama has never held office. Kamala Harris polls lower than even Joe Biden himself. You think that these donors, if Kamala Harris was such a real story here, why are they not talking about Kamala Harris? Because she couldn't even win her home state of California. That pretty much sunk her campaign when she tried to run for president by herself. It's not going to happen. It is totally delusional. If you're asking me, as somebody who lives politics, again, it's symbolism. Oh, girl, this, that. What's going on with these city girl judges and mayors and leadership? It ain't going to happen. I mean, reality is it's just not going to happen. If they really wanted to win, Demetra, if the Democrats really wanted to win, those checks need to start rolling out to the black constituents and they can win.
I agree, dude. I didn't look at it that way as far as Michelle and Kamala on the ticket, but yeah, that's the way they were going. They might as well just start packing up the Oval Office right now. Can you imagine that? Two sisters in charge.
Right. And then think about the backlash from the white women and the Hispanic women who think they're white and the Asian women who think they're white. It would never. It would be a blowout. Trump would blow them out of the water. Simple as that.
Another thing too is even with Hillary, they were supposed to go. When we say they, the white women were supposed to go vote for Hillary. I'm with her. I'm going to, and they went in there and got with Trump. But black people got the blame. In fact, Michelle Obama was mad at us. But it's like, nah, take the smoke to the white women. They the ones that went in there and said, "Oh, honey, yes, I'm voting for Trump." I mean, even when Trump and Melania went to the vote, he looking all over in her booth to make sure she checking his name off. So, hey, Stephen, how you doing? He said, there's a big brush fire here near my house. Ooh. I'm surprised this whole place ain't on fire as hot as it is. But anyway, I hope you guys are safe and tell your wife we said hello.
Yeah, and again, nothing against black girl magic and stuff, but black girl magic isn't what you think it is. Because again, we have a black woman that is on the Supreme Court that couldn't define what a woman is. So it's a joke. It's a total joke. There's no way right now. People saying Gavin Newsom, right? Now we're from California. If Gavin Newsom is elected or replaced as a replacement type candidate, if that's the case, this country's doomed. And I'm saying that because you go to California and see for yourself Democratic policies just in the state of California. Homeless everywhere, outbreaks of diseases, high house prices, high gas prices, illegal immigration. Gavin Newsom for president, the country would be destroyed. So, I mean,
you heard that they talk about giving $12 million for reparations in California. I have to look more into that, but I'm like, $12 million don't sound right.
$12 million, breaking it down between the people that are supposed to get it, that comes up to what?
$5 a piece?
Yeah, $7,500 a piece, maybe. And you got to think of those people that are going to put themselves into that conversation. Oh, I'm African and I should get it too. I should get it, It's sad. It's just a sad thing. But the good thing is, a lot of the people who are hardcore Democrats, you can't deny what is going on. You just can't deny it. This is elder abuse. This person, you need another nominee. And again, this is what happens when you don't have primaries. A lot of this could have been avoided if the Democrats had just had a primary. Now, all of a sudden, they want to do a speed dating primary. Come on now.
But, and hello to everybody that's come on here. Roots Tracker, how you doing? Long time no see. Says Katanja, a.k.a. don't know what a woman is. Yeah, they asked her. She was like, well, she could have just very easily just looked down her skirt and said, oh. I think I'm a woman. Oh, I'm bad. I'm tired, so it could get out of control here. Uh, let's see here. Yeah, your average logical think of $12 million is like, y'all could keep that because we gonna give it right back. Freddie B, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Manrico, how you doing? Long time no see. Says if we're not going to press Trump about cutting the check, which he certainly won't do on his own, then what's the point of allowing him back in office? I don't know if it's even an issue of us allowing him back in office. It's just, I think, more issue of us not stopping him from going back to office by voting, for the Democrats. We're just like, I'm gonna stay home. CJ, how you doing? Says exactly, Donovan. And Damon, how you doing? Says California with 3Ks is a hot mess. Ask Karen Bash. Yeah, she trying to get a hold of that homeless situation, but it ain't working out in her favor, Douglas says Donovan was correct about his late comment. Okay, and Marcella, how you doing? Says they're going for Gavin because he's so charismatic. I know they keep saying Michelle don't want to be involved, but she will take the VP spot. I don't think she will. I think she's enjoying Martha's Vineyard. They got a lot of money, and I wouldn't if I was her. Like, why am I going to give up my lifestyle of having to do nothing all day? To be stressed out. People calling her a man, and just I wouldn't do it if I was her. I'd be like, I don't care if America goes deeper into the abyss of hell. I would not take that office. That would just be me. Like Barack, bring ass. Okay, we going on vacation.
Well, and another thing is, see, we're so into nostalgia. I got a question for anybody out there that can answer this. If her husband couldn't do anything for Black people, what do we think this woman's going to do? Do you think because she's a woman, she's going to do anything for Black people? No, she's going to do the exact same thing her husband did. Nothing.
Yeah, it's going to be a Barack presidency, for a third term, essentially. She's going to have all those people in her ear, whatever the case is, depending on what you believe, who's actually running the country. But, my problem is this, Donovan, is they knew up before, even long before that, they had this debate that they agreed to do. They set the terms. They knew Biden was not up for the job. And now somebody said they're scrambling. They're, trying to figure out, what are we going to do? We got to continue to try to save face. But it's very scary to think that somebody who may be senile or I don't know what he's got going on is not really able to do the job. I think that's scary for a lot of people,
Well, let me push back to you guys. And maybe some of you guys could probably come up with some good questions and answers on this. What if somebody within the Biden campaign insisted that they do this debate so people could see for themselves what is going on, and it's the last chance to really do that? I mean, because I'm thinking, if I was an insider, and I know that, I mean, Demetria, we called this man out 2 or 3 years ago, and if we called it out and we're outsiders, I damn well know that people on the inside knew, and somebody insisted that this is another reason why they probably didn't have a primary, because they knew, these people knew this is the weekend at Bernie's situation. And, if I have a financial tie to this man running for, election, that's going to make me money, whatever. Somebody knew, like, hey, we're going to stage this and put this out there so everybody can see. Because like you said, it was their terms, what they wanted to do, and they put this man on display knowing he had cognitive dissidence, or whatever you want to call it. And, and it's going to come out years later, a couple years later. And that person's probably an American hero for letting people, really see what is going on.
Yeah, but I think that also comes from, and hey, Jay Legend, how you doing? Says Michelle's reputation will be mud in the eyes of Black Americans if she does. It already is, because as I said, I don't get the sense that Michelle likes Black people that much. I think we annoy her, I just think, Donovan, though, not even just Democrats, but politics in general, like, y'all do what we want. We don't care what you guys want. We know we're supposed to represent the people, but we Biden up here anyway, and what y'all gonna do about it. But It's like the emperor's new clothes, right? We know the story with that. He wanted a new robe and it was invisible, and he's thinking nobody could see him. But it's like, dude, you're naked. You're walking all through the streets and you're freaking naked. Everybody can see, right? So it's kind of the same thing with Biden. Like you're exposed. We can see what they have been telling us, didn't exist. We see that. So now it's like his campaign is saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. So it's like you're still telling us, don't believe your lying eyes. You're crazy. It's no, he was just tired. He had a cold. It's like, come on, man. So now you're recalling us stupid. And we're not. Mindful Moments, how you doing? Says all parties need to debate and we can make choices based on what we hear. Yeah, because at first they didn't want to debate, but I guess people were like, nah, you're going to look real weak, man. You need to get out there and put your verbal dukes up with him at least. But like I said, if you watch the debate and you kind of look at Trump, you could tell he felt sorry for him. Like, man, I came here to mop the floor with him. Not saying that mopping the floor meant that Trump was going to be telling the truth, but you could tell he probably wanted to do that. But once he saw that Biden wasn't all the way there, I don't think he could bring himself to do it.
Well, did you hear that comment that Trump said when they asked Biden a question and Trump was like, I don't think he even knew what he said, much less believe it. Yeah, he kind of snuck that in there and was like, I don't even think he even, it was just so sad to see that, man like that. Not that I care about Biden or anything like that, but, when
it was sad. It was sad.
Yeah. Like I said, we're not doctors. I've never worked in a nursing home, but, I have grandparents and elderly people. And I know when somebody is in decline, especially when you got to talk to them. Joe, you answered every question. And he's just looking there like, you know what I mean? It was so sad. It was just like, wow, this is the president of the United States. It's sad.
It was sad, and again, it's sad because it's like, wow, this man, he really don't have it all. And I guess one day we'll all be that way. But Donovan, I think more than anything, and y'all want me to open up the link? Give me a couple minutes. If y'all want to come on here, put a 1 in the chat. Let's see. I should open up the link. What it is more than anything is delusion. Because clearly something's wrong with him. So I don't know if the delusion is on. Hey, Kay, yeah, elder abuse. I agree with you. That's what it is. I don't know if the delusion is on the DNC's behalf. Obviously, it's on Biden, but if it's delusion on his behalf, it's probably because he can't help it, right? He probably really thinks there's nothing wrong with me. I can do it. But it's like, well, what's the DNC's excuse?
Well, what do we always say? And, and people, they get politics as a very strange bed, it makes very strange bedfellows. But what is politics really about? People think it's about freedom. It's about democracy. No, it's not about any of that. Politics is about power and money. That's it. That's it. To keep propping this man up, if that's what they're going to do, is for the power and the money. The Democrats want to rule in power and the Republicans want to rule in power. And that's what it's all about. And they don't care if they got to put a corpse up there, and tell us that everything is fine, everything is going that. But here's what frustrates me. MSNBC, Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe, these people were, they're hardcore Joe Bidenites and all this other stuff like this. For this man, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, he was like, Joe Biden has never been sharper. He's never been this. He's never been that. And then in a couple of weeks after a bad debate, this man has done a 180 and has said, yeah, he needs to give it up. And even, I don't know if you guys watched that clip. It's on YouTube. His wife, Nika Brzezinski, she said, and I was shocked she said this, we're not going to spin this. What is that telling you? When she says, we're not going to spin this, they are a tool of the Democratic Party to mislead voters. That's all that MSNBC is. She said, we are not going to spin this because that's how bad it was.
Yeah, CNN too. They were like, Van Jones was trying. It was like, listen, we know you would, that's your guy and all that, but come on, let's keep it real, But the crazy part about Joe, he was a staunch Republican, Then he ended up marrying Mika, or they dipped off together, and then he guess had a change of heart. And he's a Biden supporter. I don't even know if he's still a conservative, but yeah, he was big time conservative. Our neighbor says, go vegan to mitigate the changes of getting dementia. Yeah, I definitely think that will help, as that's what I've been for almost the last 2 months. I went back vegan. Let's see here. Also, Douglas, you said you watched it. Joe and Mika on Morning Joe. You said you call them BSDNC. Oh. Mr. X says, yep. So F you if you don't believe me. No reparation, no vote. How you doing? He says we have to Baker Act Jim Crow Joe. Okay. Mr. X says Van Joe stay crying. Yeah, he looked like he was gonna cry that day, but I think they snapped him together like stop all that crying. Mindful Moment says people need to stop allowing themselves to get manipulated. They're being served a plate of poop to eat, and they're doing so with a smile. John Freeman, how you doing? Says these people are rich millionaires. Where to go? Rich millionaires, and they use black votes to stay in power and we get replaced by illegals. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, right? Exotic, how you doing? You said also Hunter needs his dad to pardon, so they don't want to lose the presidential privileges. Yeah, would anybody else go to jail if they did what Hunter Biden did? Sure, they would. Because if I'm not mistaken, the case where the 6-year-old went to school and shot his teacher, I want to say because his mom's in jail. She's doing like a consecutive sentence, right? But I think the mom got in trouble because she lied on an application about not doing drugs to obtain her gun permit or something like that. They found out that when they went into her apartment or house, whatever, they found marijuana. So that's how they got her. So it's like, how is she? I think she's doing like 3 or 5 years or something. So it's like, well, Hunter Biden has been accused of the same thing. So is he going to go to jail like that black woman did? And I'm not saying she shouldn't have gone to jail. I mean, man, her 6-year-old shot a teacher. And, they kept saying that this kid is a problem. And he finally went to school and shot his teacher a few times. So the mom is in jail. Is Hunter Biden going to go do a stint? Doubt it. But Blasphemy, how you doing? Long time to see. He says, black women, you all got to save the party again. Ain't y'all tired? Well, I think you pose a good question, But, from what I see, it's still a lot of black women that are just, I won't let you go. Democrats, I cannot let you go. I can't let you go, Joe. I don't know. It's like they just hate Trump. And I get it. It's your right to hate Trump. But it's like, my God. I've even seen people say, I'd rather have somebody who's old than a felon or, I don't know. Just this crazy sayings people are saying. Like, okay, give it up. Joanne says, I don't defend Biden, but do know right from wrong on my own consequences. I do me and for any of them. But he's in decline. Don't be too happy. Your day is coming. Hey, listen, I always say there, but for the grace of God, there go I. Never want to make fun of anybody that's, having a time of whatever it is, because like you said, it could be you. And we keep living, one day it is going to be us. I don't care if you live to be 120. You're going to be like, huh? What? I said, what? What you say now? You mean to tell me it's 2070? Huh. I don't know. We're all going to get there. So, how you doing? It says, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Republicans are against immigrants, and immigrants are taking over black communities. That's a tangible for me with Trump in office. Okay, so my next question is, who would y'all like to see on the ticket? If not Biden, of course, a lot of us do not want to see Biden, but who would you like to see replace Biden?
See, but that's the problem with the Democratic Party, and especially black politicians. We do not groom the next generation. We don't do it. So right now, you're basically going to have the same problem, because outside of Kamala and things like that, but she's so damn unpopular. AOC is so damn unpopular. These people are not going to be backed by the DNC. So you're going to be dealing with what, a Nancy Pelosi possibly from the donors, these older people, and that's going to be the problem. Ageism is going to be a problem. The person that they definitely don't want Bernie in there, so he's out. So who's going to step up? You're going to get an unknown congressman like we have as the Speaker of the House that comes out of nowhere and is just doing the bidding of Trump and whatever he has to do to get there. In the Democratic Party, who do you have? Who? It is so extreme between the progressives and the traditional standard bearers of the Democratic Party. Who is going to be acceptable to get in there? That's the question.
I have an idea, but I'm going to wait. And as CJ says, same. Dimitri, I saw a comment that they vote for him even if he was in a coma. Yeah, I saw stuff like that. I was like, now, see, y'all tripping. Y'all are really, he might end up being in that. Be careful what you ask for. But yeah, I've seen that as well. James Bookman, how you doing? Says we need to work on us because the reality is in our community and youth is a serious state of emergency. I'm tired of the blind eyes about Democrats, whereas our fight anymore. I totally agree with you. And I think of somebody named Tequila was on here that's asking, what about us talking about, kind of like doing for self and stuff like that. And we talk about that all the time. And I agree with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. No matter who is in the White House, we got to do for self because nobody is going there to do anything for Black people. They're just not. They don't care about us. They never have cared about us. They didn't bring us over here or enslave us that were already here. They didn't care about us then. They didn't say, oh gosh, well, I care so much about them. Let's not make them into slaves. They didn't care. Then these are the offspring of massa. So we have to get back to doing for self like our ancestors did right after slavery. It was like, all right, bet, are we all we got, right? One thing we all always know that Black people are the ultimate survivors. We gonna out survive every damn thing, okay? Even roaches. And roaches are like, roach power. we not going nowhere, so Black people, we will out survive everything. So we just I agree. Anyway, Corey, how you doing? Says some of our people will be forever lost. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of us are trying to find our way. So that's the good thing. Mindful Moment says there's no viable option that I can tell. I can think of one person y'all might disagree, and I understand that the guy, how you doing, says high gas prices and high cost of housing is everywhere, regardless of the state, is red or blue. Yeah, all of America is just purse strings are just tapped out. Superstar Rising, how you doing? It says is Cornel West still around? Yeah, but he's having a time getting on the ballots. I think him and RFK Jr. are only on like maybe 5 or 6 states ballots. So it's kind of tough to win an election if you're not on all the ballots. So, and they're not even being invited to any of the debates or nothing. So Stephen, how you doing? He says, I love my Black job, my Black paycheck, and my Black wife, and my family. Everything is Black. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah and amen. Arneva says, I would like to see Marianne Williamson replace Biden. She's back in the race. Oh, is she? Yeah, I hadn't heard anything about her.
Yeah. All of these candidates, the Democrats have left off the ballots. They're trying to fight them. Now, this is what kills me. They keep talking about democracy is at stake, but yet they're doing everything in a fascist way. It just doesn't make sense.
Raynari says, Demetra, Black women stick with the Democrats because Black women are in competition with Black men and feel the Democrats empower them over Black men. Black women will sacrifice the community for themselves. That's not all Black women. Some Black women, indeed. I just think they, I don't know. Of course, we know that's conditioning. It's been that way since we were enslaved to think that somewhere, the white man is going to, do something. And the white man has. The white man, not that he loves the Black woman any more than he loves the Black man, but I know the Willie Lynch letters kind of, its authenticity is in question, but the premise of it is the same. We know that to be true, that they asserted the Black woman over the Black man, even on the plantation. And it's kind of been running that way ever since, I would say probably after Jim Crow, during all the Wall Streets and stuff, the Black towns. I think that's a time when it wasn't matriarchal. But yeah, the white man uses the sister, gives her all the good jobs, right? I mean, every black woman in Washington, Kamala, depending on who you believe, she's got a white husband. Katanji's got a white husband. Karine Jean-Pierre, she had a white wife. Uh, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a mistake. I think it's by design. Uh, to continue putting the black woman over the black man. And as I said yesterday, the black woman needs to wake up and knock it off. Because when it's all said and done and you've helped white supremacy get everything they want, you're going to be in the same boat as the black man you helped build. So I agree with you. Whole Styles, how you doing? You says Kamala and Michelle ain't beating no Trump. Right. It depends on what polls you believe, right? Michelle W, how you doing? Says Michelle and Kamala are awful. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. An Observer, how you doing? Says, who did the poll in Biden? Well, it says CNN. One I read was Time. It something, I forget, Ipso polling. So there's a few polls. So some of them probably are left or right leaning. So yeah. And Johnny says Trump 2024 on getting our borders closed and could never vote for another Democrat. They are anti-Christian. Yeah, they are. They are. I think the Republicans are too. They just pretend that they are the family values party. But they be doing some crazy stuff too. Marcella says Kamala Harris is going to be mad when they pass over her. Yeah, well, they was wanting to do that before. They were wanting to replace her, which they said it would have been the first time in history that a vice president was replaced. But I guess they decided against it because they used her to get the black vote. So they didn't want the backlash.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed, though, with all of these prominent black women in leadership positions like Fani Willis, the judge in or not the judge, the DA that was in Baltimore that got prosecuted, the BBL judge here in Atlanta, and all these, these prominent black women, right? Who are they being prosecuted by? Biden's DOJ. Have you guys noticed that? When it comes to black women, that prominent black women, they're being investigated and prosecuted by Biden's DOJ. So the same group of women or people that he puts up as symbols, behind the scenes, he's breaking them down. I mean, this guy is probably the worst rabid racist. He's been there for 60 years, 50, 60 plus years. I mean, how does a tiger change its stripes? It just doesn't.
Right. It tries, right? But them stripes going to keep on popping out like, hello, how you doing? Michelle says, at least we know how good the economy was when Trump was president. Yeah. And of course, people are saying, well, it wasn't. And, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, a lot of people are saying, I believe my bank account over what you saying. Okay. My bank account was a little bit, it was bulging out a little bit. It had some muscles and now it's just flabby. So I will personally say that I know that to be true for myself. Just go to the grocery store now. It's like, you have to do a prayer like, Lord, be with me in this grocery store. Won't you stretch my dollar, Lord? A hobo roller, how you doing? Says, how are you going to print the stolen ballots with the new name on? You crazy. And fill it out. Corey says, this isn't, that isn't all black women. No, it is not. It is not all black women. Of course, there's a lot of black women on here, including myself, that do not believe in the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party ain't made the black woman's life better, which is crazy to me. It's like, how y'all run around here talking about vote blue no matter who, and I'm going to vote for Joe Biden, even if he's in a coma. He ain't improved your life. The black woman is the most evicted in America right now. She's the most evicted. Yeah, they got little programs here and there, but you're still sleeping on the street, boo-boo. And you have faith in, and you're sleeping on the street in mostly Democratic cities. So if they cared about you, the backbone, why are you sleeping on the concrete and the cardboard box where now the Supreme Court has ruled that they can, or they, in whatever city or whatever, they can arrest you now if you're sleeping outside. So if you're homeless, where are you going to sleep? Outside. Now they can arrest you.
Right. And the crazy thing is, you see these prominent black women at the city council meetings, and they're standing up and trying to fight and get and do what's right. Thank goodness that these women are waking up and saying, I got to take care of mine first. And they stop fighting for these migrants and their kids. Fight for your community first.
Right. Eric, how you doing? You have a good point. It says, I don't care what y'all say. Both Biden and Harris should be in prison for deliberately endangering the lives of us citizens. You say, or I think U.S. citizens. And if he is reelected, who is running the country? He wouldn't be. Absolutely. You know, I agree with you on that. I never really thought about it that way. Because, yeah, they have opened up, not that we weren't already in danger. Let's not lie and say that, you know, oh, well, everything was good. But when they opened up the borders, yeah, they let some miscreants over here that, you know, just run them up. So I agree with you on that. But, you know, it's kind of hard to hold them accountable. There's a lot of people who would have a good lawsuit, I would imagine. Hey, Brina, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jay Legend, you say black women get concessions and freedom along with head of household status, and black men never got nothing voting for Democrats. I'd agree with you. I agree with you. Alex, how you doing? Says raise your hand if you read Project 2025. I opened it, but I was like, I can't read it on my phone. I'm gonna get distracted, so I have to buy it. Which is last time I looked, it was out of stock, or I'm gonna have to sit here on my computer and read it, which probably for me would be faster. So I opened it yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I think it's a start. Blasphemy says they use them to go after black folk. CJ says Donovan was late, but is coming out swinging. Laugh out loud. Absolutely. Ivan, how you doing? Says Kamala Harris as president. People are grasping at straw man. Damn, yeah. They, you know, they're asking Biden to step down. So they're like, well, she kind of already there. She know the blueprint of the White House. So might as well, you know, just she's right across the street. Might as well just have her move her. I don't know, her stuff over across the street.
Yeah, you know, and here's the thing what you got to understand about politics. Okay, they've raised all this money. Okay, now the money was raised for the Biden-Harris ticket. All the money that they raised, if Kamala is selected, she could use that money according to the finance laws and the election law. She could use that money that was raised. But if they don't select her, they can't necessarily use that money. It'll be like sitting in a pot and just kind of sitting there because it was raised specifically for the Biden-Harris campaign. So that is a possibility that they might be forced to put her in some kind of capacity. I wouldn't be surprised if they keep her on the ticket, but not as the presidential nominee, but keep her as the vice president, which in her probably pride and stuff, she would be like, oh, it's unprecedented. I'm already on the ticket. The president has stepped down, so I should have to step up as the nominee. But again, her polling numbers are horrible, but it's about that pot of money that they've raised.
Absolutely, which I'm sure is a lot, you know. Ivan, he says Kamala Harris should be running for you crazy. The PTA at her kids' high school, not president. I don't even think she had no kids. Her stepkids are older now, so maybe crossing guard at the local school. I don't know. Black is the future. How you doing? You say facts. Who else came on here? And Brother Samuel, I saw you. How you doing? Facts, not feelings. How are you? Says peace and love, family. U.S. is failed country every day. More policies and laws are passed to make it more clear that it is. Oh yeah, it's like we are definitely witnessing the end, because some of the stuff we hear about is like, really? Just some of the laws are just wow. Okay, like to me, that homeless one is a doozy, because if I'm homeless, I'm probably gonna be sleeping outside, but they can arrest you. So it's like, is this a ploy to, you know, fill up the prisons and the jails? Probably. Blasphemy says it's not better, but it's better than the black man, and that's all that matters. And Alex says, I read Project 2025, and yes, there's a lot of conservative stuff, but there's something that talks about the nuclear family. I trust me, I'm gonna read it. That is my goal, to do that. GP, how you doing? Says just got here but can't stay long because I promised my younger cousin I would attend his birthday party tonight. You guys plan on sharing the link? I'm not quite sure if we're gonna share the link. Give me a couple minutes to think about it. But I get to the bottom of the
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes.
Okay. So Lady Lemuria say Project 2025 is a nothing burger. I've heard different sides, so I was like, let me read it. Let me read it for myself so I can, be a better judge. That's why I haven't said anything about it. And listen, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's part of me being lazy that I haven't read it. It is. I read a lot, and I have not wanted to read in a while. Double A, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says they can't get around Kamala. She's still second. Brother Reddy says she should step out. If you're talking about Kamala, she ain't gonna do that. She's a megalomaniac too. She's drunk on power.
Yeah, and you got to remember they can go around Kamala because when we're talking about stepping down, Joe Biden is stepping down from re-election, so they can go around her. This has nothing about succession of him being president. He isn't giving up being president. He's giving up being re-elected.
Right. Hey, Tisha, how you doing? It says listening while I drive. Yes, and please and do be careful. You know what's so funny, y'all? I keep forgetting that 4th of July is tomorrow. I totally keep forgetting. Is that what we're supposed to do? Oh, let me dust mine off. I haven't had to use it in a while. See, I still got it. I ain't forgot. Katrina, how you doing? Says Michelle has no political experience. I will not vote for them. Okay. Milo Factor, did I say hello to you? If not, hello. He says, I don't want to see anybody else who hasn't held an office going to the top office. I mean, if you think about it, none of them are experienced, if you think about it. And Kelly, how you doing? Says, I read it. Okay. And Steven says, I don't care who the Democrats put in. I'm still not voting for them. They really have a wicked policy going on. Yep. And Batista, how you doing? Says, wow, a dingbat and a he, she. Oh, wow. Who the he, she? Who's the he, she? Where's one? How you doing? Says, black people don't have a horse in this race, so don't vote for nobody. Damn, or vote because you're not going to get anything from those devils. Listen, you ain't got to tell me twice. Douglas says, great show. I have to go now. Y'all have a great 4th of July, and you do the same. And thank you for joining us. Tammy says, the Heritage Foundation drafted a Project 2025, and see, that's what we should organize, a think tank similar to the Heritage Foundation. Yep, we should have a think tank. We think we have them, but we not like a real think tank, We think that the think tank is the comment section on Hollywood Unlocked, Kelly says, I believe it's a nothing burger too. Marcella says, California just let a lot of people out of prison last year. Make that make sense, arresting people because they are homeless. Yep. The Supreme Court says they're kicking it back to the states and, cities to make that determination as to whether they want to deem that a crime enough to lock them up. But the states are saying, well, or, the cities, well, we're trying to offer them shelter and some drug treatment and stuff like that. And so they have other options. But it's like them people, not everybody going to trust the drug treatment programs y'all got, because what y'all trying to do to these people? You know what I mean? So then you lock them up. And it's like, so you're criminalizing being homeless in an economy that a lot of people cannot afford to pay rent or mortgage. There's a lot of people who are behind on their rent and their mortgage as we speak. They are a month away probably being homeless, and then not only being homeless on their mind, but damn, if we get out there and be outside, not in a good way, right? Then we might look at going to jail. So what happens if you got kids? Do they go to CPS? Like, what happens? Because there's families out there that are homeless. It's crazy.
And it isn't like the administration did not know that this was a crisis and happening. Let's even go to the governors. I'm from California, and I'm going to tell you guys that homelessness in California is nothing new. Over $1 billion has been spent, they said, within like a 6-year period to fight homelessness, and it's getting worse. So what is that telling you? It's like they throwing money at this problem isn't helping. All the programs and stuff, they've really got to do a comprehensive take to solve it. I mean, I think they estimated it's been over $13 billion since the early 2000s that they've spent in homelessness in California alone. And the problem is growing.
Yeah. but people are going to be going to jail. I mean, there's, you know, people who are working, they have good jobs and they sleeping outside because they cannot afford rent. They won't do nothing in most places about a skyrocketing rent. That's what Kamala said when she got him. She was running, oh, we're going to do something about rent because Americans are paying 50% of their income on rent. We need to do something about that. And ever since it's been going up, everybody I know talking about their car insurance is skyrocketing. It's like, I don't have no accidents. Why my insurance going up? You know? So everything is out of control, but yet, you know, electricity is higher, gas, everything's higher. But people aren't getting raises. And so it's like people are going to be sleeping in their car, but they're going to be getting in trouble. And it's sad. And then with going to jail, they get fined. So it's like, now I got more debt that I can't pay for it. And, you know, when you get a ticket, you can't pay, then you get a warrant, then they lock you. So it's just like, that's horrible to do, right? And that's by design. I would imagine it is. So, Steven, what you talking about?
Yeah, and real quick, in some communities, especially in California, because there are so many cars on the streets and stuff, they're making ordinances to where you have to park your car in your driveway and in your garage. And we know we have kids, you turn the garage and it's a storage facility, whatever. But they're now putting out permits where you can have one permit to have your car on the street, but anything else you have has to be in your garage, or you're gonna have to park it somewhere else.
Yeah, so all these rules and stuff that they're making, it's hard for people to live. I couldn't imagine being homeless and thinking, damn, I gotta not get caught because I could be going to jail. It's crazy, you know. CJ says, so sad. One of the debates needed to cover 10 cities. Nah, they're not gonna cover it because they causing the 10 cities. They know that there's hardly any rent control. There's in some places, but then there's all these loopholes and stuff, right? So they know, to me, if I was a landlord, I would say, well, damn, do I even know if my tenant got a raise? How do I know that my tenant could even pay what I'm asking more of? But I think a lot of landlords are finding out the hard way now because there's a lot of properties that are open and available. So people can move. Before they really couldn't move because there wasn't nowhere to go to because people are, snatching up the properties and stuff. But you're going to raise the rent, you're going to end up having an empty ass house. That's what's going to happen. Roz, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. See who else came on here. Herman, how you doing? It says they would have to rig the election in order for Kamala to beat Trump. Something tells me that's the plan. I don't know. Bad times, how you doing? I hope you have a good time by the time we're done here. It says it's bad out here. The economy is for the rich. Any goofy should know that. And you know what? This is going to trickle up. I know we hear about the trickle down, the tax cuts, trickle down to the poor people. This is going to trickle up because it's the working class, right? The proletariat, working class people who are keeping the rich because they own the machines, right? The ones that owns the machines, the production and all that, they own the machine. So when the working class can no longer go into Walmart, in fact, they said Walmart is seeing so many people in there now because people aren't going to your Trader Joe's, your Whole Foods, and they're not going there no more. They're like, Consuela, let's go to Walmart. They all walks of life are now in Walmart because people cannot afford. So we are hearing every day what? All these companies are closing. They're going out of business. I mean, companies are like the 99-cent store. So rich people are just going to get it last. They might not be feeling it now, but they will feel it. They'll get it. It's just timing. Ivan says these homeless could be farm laborers if the government will develop a program. Yeah, or just, make living decent for people, Let's see who else came on here. And Heather, says everything is bad because of Biden. I think Biden had Bidenomics, if you will, had a lot to do with it. I think it was a perfect storm of everything because we got to remember Congress is comprised of what? Everybody on all sides of the aisle and some in the middle. And to all of them together For one, they can't get along, but when they do get along, it's like, oh, we're going to give some more money to some other countries. You know what I mean? But yet there's people in their own districts or whatever that's suffering. And all those people get, whether they're Republicans or the Democrats, is lip service. Oh, well, put me back in office and then we're going to see what we're going to do. It's like, nah, hell no. I don't know if I'll be able to have a car to drive to the polls the next time to put you in office, because things are that bad. So, but I get what you're saying. Tisha, you say, same with New York City. Donovan, my judge thought a defendant was lying when the person said they paid $1,400 for a room. She made the prosecution get the landlord on the phone to authenticate his rent receipt. It's beyond crazy. Now you have $1,400 for a room. That you got to go outside and change your mind is probably so small, but that's insane. And people are being evicted from those places, that's the way. That's used to be rent for a house with a couple of bedrooms, but a room, it's crazy. Let's see here. I skipped up a little bit. Thunder, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay, here we go. Thank you, CJ. And your average logical thinker says, remember when the governor of Seattle pushed the tent folks a few blocks over because the president of China was visiting? Yeah, just wait till the Olympics comes here. We're going to see a whole lot of madness. And Donovan, aren't they making another stadium somewhere in Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, the Clippers have their own stadium, but they're making whatever you call that, like the Olympic Welcome Stadium or something. It's going to be this vainglorious thing, and of course, part-time seasonal jobs with no benefits. But the homeless people are going to be moved completely out. And you're starting to see them doing it right now as they push them out to where I live, the Inland Empire. Give them the bus ticket and they go back out.
And y'all send them right on back. Extreme X, if I didn't already, how you doing? It says E40 is endorsing Biden. I saw that. I was like, what's E40 from the Yay area? Really?
Sprinkle me. Yeah. Them checks are good, Dimitri. You can't blame them. Them checks are good. It's just like the BET Awards. It's just about marketing now. It's crazy, but people are willing to take them checks.
I saw that this morning, as a matter of fact. I was like, so you just, what it is it's taking advantage of your fan base. Like, y'all stupid. I'm just going to come out and say I'm endorsing Biden and y'all going to be, all right with it. It's like, nah, yo, you ain't going to sell no more of them sausages because he's selling food or something. I was going to say something bad. But yeah, that was a bad move. JR, how you doing? Says Biden will not step down, and also Biden will win re-election and transfer the office to Harris after re-election. I think that's the plan, is to say I can't do it, but then I think he should be brought up on some damn charges for fraud because you knew you couldn't do it. Winning if you win. But you decided to, do that technology. Deshaun, how you doing? Says Sprouts is way better than Whole Foods and a lot cheaper. Yeah, I like Sprouts. But it's high. Sprouts is high. You gonna say something, Donovan?
Well, I was just gonna say, to JR, if Biden wins, if you look at everything, that's all the numbers and stuff, when you lose more than 20% of the black vote, men and women, 20% of the black vote, you can't win. The Democrats cannot win without that black vote. He is polling at less than 70% of the black vote. So that tells you you're not going to win. And then you got RFK out there. You've got Cornel West that's going to bleed off votes and stuff. I just personally, looking at it from what I see as a political person, there's no way this man is winning anything. Donald Trump will be, and I'm going to say it on the show for myself, Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States. The only way the Democrats could get that 20% back is to cut those damn checks specifically to black people. And don't tell me it can't be done. They have social security numbers. They know who is who. They do. Don't tell me that they don't. They do. Cut those damn checks. That is the only way they're going to win at this point. We were saying this last year when the primaries were kicking up. I mean, the Asians got their stuff. Everybody got something, but the very group that put you in the first time. If they really want to win this, if he has really good advisors, man, we got to cut this check. We got to cut the check. We got to do something because we are losing this vote. Even the black women are walking away and sitting on the couch. Come on now. When that starts happening, you know you got a problem.
No, they just think, oh, we'll get E40. E40 will convince them. Get E40 out there, so sprinkle them. And they'll do it. Alex said, did you see D.L. Hughley using Project 2025 as the new boogeyman? Yeah, D.L. Hughley, he is definitely on a Democratic plantation, and he is the slave catcher. Like, they leaving Massa. There they go over there. Go get them. That's what D.L. Hughley is, and he's a sad man. But he doesn't care. He's getting his gravy train, I would imagine. Timothy, how you doing? He says, Biden has done what he was put in office to do, to bring in millions of illegals to get rid of American blacks. His entire career was to make our lives absolutely miserable. He's good now. I will not disagree with you on that one. I mean, because we see it as we speak, right? Rob, how you doing? He says, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, look up the list of executive orders signed by Biden, then read the details of what each order implemented or removed. All right, we will definitely do that. Let's see who else came on here. Eric, how you doing? Says Big Mike. Y'all better quit calling Michelle a man. Ivan says E40. What the fuck? I mean, oops. He said what the F, man? I don't say those words. What the F, man? He says got stoned and fell asleep before the debate. I guess. Nah, he probably got the little white envelope, and he says, "Yeah, I'll do it." Katrina says, I'm not convinced. Damon said, talking to Damon. Marcella says, they have money to build stadiums when there are so many stadiums in the area like Oakland, California, that have about 5 stadiums, but no money for homeless. Nah, they're going to actually harm the homeless and people who are barely holding on by a string. They're going to get harmed because the rent and everything is going to go up. So it's crazy. Thunder says, the idea of Harris and Obama ticket for me, I would really, really need to hear what they're running on. And if it isn't worth the damn, just like the rest, I'm going to sit this one out. Yep. I hear you. Blasphemy says they found out the city paid for Skid Row. Erica says homeless and addiction is big money here in California, and corporations own most of California property and hires management companies to oversee them. A lot of vacancies, not a problem for these corporations. Oh, no. I totally agree with you. Erica says the Globe sheep think that that's the real Joe. So you think that's kind of like a Stafford Joe or something? Chantel says, yes, my first one. Glad to be here. I love the way Goddess represents African diaspora. I think you meant. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here. Let's see who else came on here because I know we're about to run out of time. Walter said he was coming, but Walter be doing stuff. In fact, he called me. Are we doing the show today? Yeah. Baprax, you say, Donovan, they literally stole the election in front of our eyes. They don't need any one's vote. That's the sickest part. Okay. Kelly said Trump is winning this.
Yeah.
Aldi, I like Aldi. Aldi's pretty cool. I haven't been in a long time. Marcella, wow. We got a death clock on Biden. Hey, Tanaya, where you been? Says, hey, Dimitri and Donovan, let me ask you an honest question. Trump and Biden haven't done anything specifically for Black people. Now what? I mean, I agree with you. That's why a lot of people are saying they're just going to sit on the couch. Or they're going to, vote for somebody else. My daughter said yesterday that she was voting for Harambe. Y'all remember that? She did. She said, I'm voting for Harambe. You can write people in if you want. So, you can write in somebody, but you're right. They're not going to do anything. But like Donovan said, if the Democrats want to stay in office, then they would say, all right, print up the checks. Because Donovan, you're right. They know who gets those checks. We need to study. We need to, sit down and see, if I gave you a false name, if the FBI pulled me over, you'd be like, now you're lying. Your name is this, your birthday is this, your weight, your height, your mama, your grandmama's mama, and her mama 2 generations over. But all of a sudden, when it come down, you writing a check, we don't know. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Raj, he says, I live in North California. It says Northern California, rather. It says the homelessness is out of control here. Oh, yes. My city gets paid to take them, but nothing is done for them. They are contained in my neighborhood because we are affluent. Yes, indeed. The MC Fact, how you doing? Says, what if, like in 2020, you go to sleep, Trump was winning, you wake up and Biden had mysteriously won? What you saying?
Well, that's because, see, and again, if we're paying attention to politics, the reason that is, and that's an old Democratic trick, the reason why Biden won in that aspect is the fact that it was the votes that were still, what do you call those? The votes for the military that come in later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's those votes that come in later. Like the votes that they can count immediately, they count those ones that they can count. But you got to, what's it called? The ballots, the military ballots and the
mail-in ballots.
Yeah, the mail-in ballots. That's why. And that's why I'm not making excuses, but at the same time, Trump challenged 60 court dates and couldn't prove his case, not one. So, yeah, but it's an old trick, but a trick like that is best used at the local level, because Democrats are famous for stealing elections, but to steal a national election, where's the proof? And he has a Supreme Court that's conservative, so even they said there's no case here. So it's something we got to accept. I mean, this guy's almost 4 years in now. We just got to move forward. This next election, I have no doubt Donald Trump will win this election.
Donovan, was the moon landing fake?
I believe it was. If you're asking me, I believe it was. I believe it was.
Yeah, a lot of people have debunked it, like the flag flowing is like, or was flat or was flowing. It was flowing and there's no gravity or something.
Right.
Crazy.
The way, and it's if you look at it, and then you got to ask yourself, and all the money and tax dollars that went to NASA, why didn't we never go back in all that time to really establish space stations? Why are we making space stations that orbit the Earth rather than terraform on the moon? Doesn't make any sense.
Right. I just saw Lunice's comment. Says Candace almost sniffs her fingers. What's she sniffing? What's she smelling for? What's on them?
Mom, have you ever had that unfresh feeling? That reminded me of a Living Color episode where they're just...
Yeah, you got to be doing all that. There's something wrong. You need to go to the doctor, okay? Something. Tonight says, on add off vacations, but you said you're on vacation, doing well. Hope you guys are well too. Yeah, we're doing well. No complaints. Ronald says, I'm still voting for Trump. And how you doing, by the way? Yeah, a lot of people are like, you're not going to change my mind. I'm voting for Trump. I'm not. I'm just saying, I don't know who I'm voting for right now. I know I ain't voting for Biden, put it that way. Yeah, your average logical thinker, 1% controls everything, but they'll get it too. You watch. And Key 5, how you doing? He said, don't remember who it was, but someone in the New Black Media said they were gonna replace Michelle with Biden at the last minute just to get the Black feminist vote. He said that in 2020. You know, the crazy part is they already got the Black feminist vote. So how many more votes would they get? The Black woman, for the most part, is on board with the Democrats. I think that would make more people not vote.
Right. Do you want to hear what's crazy? What I heard? They're talking about Ralph Warnock on the ticket. This man has done nothing in the Senate, zero. And they're talking about Ralph Warnock on the ticket.
Yeah, he did. He was kicking people out their houses. He was evicting people. Talking about, well, that's not what happens. Like them people saying you kicking them out, Ralphie. You putting them on the street as you sitting up in Martin Luther King's pool pit. You putting them on the street. Or after you ran your ex-wife's foot over in a custody battle. I mean, so, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're doomed. We're doomed. Donovan, all I will say is don't you leave this country and not take me with you. Okay? You need a maid or somebody? Yes. I've clean. You want some biscuits for dinner?
The good old days, man. I long for them.
I sweep the caboose now. Just don't leave me behind. Sanchez, how you doing? So Joe doesn't have to sit down. He will be sat down, willing or unwilling. Yeah, well, it's got to be his choice unless they can deem him to be unfit. So it's still got to be his choice.
See. Now, here's another thing. When I brought up the Warnock thing, they're floating these black candidates that do absolutely nothing but what the Democrats want them to do. Notice how they're pandering to the black vote. They know they are behind in the black vote. That's why everything's. But how many of you guys saw the clip of Kamala on the BET Awards? Yeah, girl, they ain't like us. Look at all the pandering they've done for the Democratic Party has no respect for black people. They just feel that we'll just throw a black face up there or talk in a jivish way, and we're going to get a few votes. And you know what the sad thing is? They're right.
Yep. Timothy says, don't vote for no one. Our vote don't count. It's really a sick joke when we vote. Yeah, they going to do what they want to do regardless. Got you wasting good gas money, getting that little sticker talking about I voted. Okay. Yeah, Damon Warnock. That's like, come on, y'all reaching now. I don't like to, I'm not even being mean when I say this. He do look like Mr. Potato Head. He does. He like a little potato, with the little glasses. Samaj, how you doing? Says they're floating nonsense. The corporate media would say anything. I think Trump wins comfortably. They know that, which is why they're like, listen, Biden, listen. We're going to put a little extra Geritol in your juice if you don't step down. If they thought that Biden could win, they wouldn't be saying nothing. They'd be like, you guys be quiet. Beauty with brains, how you doing? Says they shouldn't embarrass that man. He won't win. He probably won't even know. He probably don't even know he's president right now. He just kind of comes and goes. I am. But again, we all going to get there. I am. For real. Thunder says, to hell with the pandering pay up. I know that's right. Dorothy says he's probably getting paid well by APAC, lobby, Warnock. Oh, probably. He getting a good check. Arneva says Kamala should have bought the hot sauce out. Right. She already got there's a picture of her. I seen it not too long ago. She got some greens and cornbread and she got the hot sauce. She's sprinkling the hot sauce on there. It's like, girl, if you don't stop, you be sprinkling masala on that chicken kaplan. Erica says, molded looking glass divides the waters. Molted looking glass. Okay. Jay Legend, he says BT pandering is taking it too far. The show is a mess as it is. Yeah, they desperate big time. Taraji up there trying to skin. Y'all, if y'all don't know what Project 2025 is, y'all need to look it up. It's like, if you don't host the doggone show, how you gonna tell us to look up 2024, talk to Kamala Harris, and then have Megan Thee Stallion busting her ass over in front of the world? Some things just don't match. Shaking ass. Well, I don't know, maybe Kamala's already, was it Maxine Waters says the audacity of WAP. She was talking to Megan Thee Stallion. I think it's great, the audacity. It's like, how would you know? You got a DOP. And I'm going to leave it at that. Good old Maxine. Education is key. How you doing? He says, yeah, masala greens. Kamala be up there fronting. Raynard, he says, why should the Democratic Party respect black folks when black folks taking their abuse because do not respect themselves? Hey, you said a word right there. You got to respect yourself first. I totally agree with you. Dorothy says, Democrats scare tactics. They're not working. We ain't scared. Thunder says she put hot sauce on those collard greens, took a bite, and the cameraman went cut and she spit those greens out. Are we done yet? I'm getting loopy. I know it's time to go. Donovan, how much time we got? I'm just
We
looking at
are 5 minutes over.
Oh, okay. We're about to get out of here. Fast and Feeling says Dems have no respect for black people. Even when we are screaming reparations, they pretend they don't know what we want. Yeah, just like Joe Biden. That's how they do us, right? What's that? And then, like Trump said, I don't know what he said. I don't even think he knows what he said.
And then he sneaked this to Brandon in there. Tell him, Brandon. Did you hear that part?
Yeah, he did. It's like you know you wrong for that. You took it too far, Trump. You took it too far. Who bet you to dared you to do that? Oh my God. Y'all, we about to get out of here because it's about to get real downright silly. So anyway, I will be back here Sunday. Donovan, if you are free, I know you would busy. So if you are able to join us on Sunday, please do so. In the meantime, for those of y'all who celebrate the 4th of July, y'all have fun with that. For me, I'm going to be working because that's what our ancestors was doing. They was working. Donovan, you have anything to say?
I just have to say, you guys be safe out there. If you're in a county like I live in, where it's known, it's dry, and you don't pop fireworks there. Don't pop fireworks in areas. Don't let your kids do it, because if they set the neighbor's house on fire, do you have enough money to cover it? And it does happen. So just be careful out there. I remember growing up, we were shooting bottle rockets and like you burn your fingers. Some guys lost their fingers and doing all kinds of craziness. Just be safe out there. Enjoy it. Personally, if you're a black person, I don't understand what you're celebrating, but hey, it's a free country. Do what it is, what you think you need to do. So, but just be safe as you do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's our pleasure, you guys. And I also say, and I forgot about that, Donovan, that's an important aspect of 4th of July. I don't celebrate it, haven't for a long time. But Donovan actually hit me on to this. We forget that there are people like veterans like Donovan and the other veterans who suffer from certain things like PTSD and all of that, who have served in wars. Yeah, Donovan, I didn't want to put you out there like that, but yeah, Donovan, who has, done 16 tours of duty, who has seen it all, heard it all. So for a lot of veterans, and I know a few, those fireworks kind of freak them out, right? Because it kind of brings back memories of war and, the horrible things that go along with that. So we should be mindful of that. But unfortunately, people are. In fact, they're going to get it popping tonight. I just know that they are. So also for people who have pets, it's hard on pets as well. They say, in fact, that's, I think, the thing, one of the nights that a lot of pets run away the most, get lost because they're scared. So, yeah. So just be mindful of that. So anyway, we love y'all. Yes, y'all have a logical thing. You said CPTSD is real. And what's the C stand for? Hey, Christopher, how you doing? Donovan, you know what the C stands for in CPTSD?
I don't know. Colored I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, we know that you are a veteran as well. Yeah, I was a logical thinker. So anyway, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Hi, Diane. Hope you're doing well. So you don't celebrate it either. Feet funkers and how you doing? So anyway, we're gonna get combat. She says combat. Yeah,
You know what? That's funny. That's the first time I've ever heard of that. The generic term is just PTSD. That's all I've ever heard. But combat PTSD, yeah, and it's a little different if you've been in combat. A lot of vets out there, but not a lot have been in combat. So that's true. So.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all safe out there. And also a lot of people drinking and driving, doing too much. So be mindful of that. Just we want to see everybody back here on Sunday. So we love and appreciate every last one of y'all dearly. Y'all please have a great day and stay safe. Peace.